Due to the context of the Israeli calendar and the period of remembrance in which we are currently positioned, I have chosen this time to address a work of art in statue form. The monument, named Memorial for the Last of Kin, ties together Holocaust Memorial Day and the Memorial Day for Fallen Israeli Soldiers, and is symbolically erected on Mount Herzl on the walkway between Yad Vashem and the military cemetery. The monument is dedicated to the memory of 167 soldiers who arrived in Israel as survivors of the Holocaust, who were also the sole survivors of the nuclear families. Those survivors enlisted in the IDF, some of them immediately upon arriving in Israel, and died in combat. The name of the memorial refers to the fact that each of the failures was the last kin of his family, which did not survive. In addition, the Hebrew word for kin, netzer, stands also for a stem and indicate a new branch beginning to grow. Their arrival in Israel after the horrors of the Holocaust represented the hope of a new beginning, which tragically was cut short in the war. The statue is composed of the image of a house that has collapsed into two parts, facade and structure. The motif of the house in the art of Micha Ullman is represented by the basic shape of a square with a triagonal roof. The same elemental shape of a house, which is similarly portrayed in children's drawing, hints at different elements linked to the home, such as intimacy, family, shelter, and safety. The house in this work of art, however, is not functional. The facade of the house lies beside it, and the house is open to an attack. Some of it lies above ground, and most of it is buried underground. The place that was supposed to be home has transformed into a grave. The materials from which the monument is constructed emphasize the imagery of the house and the grave and add special context. The statue is made of local limestone, which is used for construction in Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. At the same time, gravestones in the nearby cemetery are also made of the same stone. Even if the fallen soldiers did not manage to build their homes in Israel, their death has connected them to the place. The broken house does not exist as an actual home, but its symbolism is tied to the land of Israel. The viewers who move between the two parts of the monument looked at it from above. The view of the contour of the house adds an additional dimension. The roof of the house looks like the bow of a ship or a boat, and the rainwater that gather at the bottom of the structure highlight the impression. The motif of the ship or boat reminds us that we are addressing the memory for new immigrants who arrived in Israel from Europe. The monument commemorates those who fell while protecting the home that never had a chance to serve them as such. The names of the fallen are inscribed on the facade of the house, and alongside them appears the inscription: "The house that was there and is no longer. The house that they could have built here and will not be built. They were the last kings of their homes, and they are gone." This work of art by Micha Ullman is tied to other works of him. The most famous of them is the Empty Library in Berlin, which relate to the Nazis' burning of books there in 1933. In both works, the viewer gazes from above into the bowels of the earth. Both are tied to the Holocaust, and in both the familiar appearance of the home or of the library room is disrupted. Another works of Ullmann's in Germany contain the form of a boat that is drowned on the riverbed. With the rays of the water line, it is completely covered and is seen only when the water goes down. Here too, there is a reference to the movement of immigration to Israel, as the artist's family used to live further up the river. All the members of the family made it out of Europe to Israel before the Holocaust. The monument Last of Kin is tied in many ways to Jewish and Israeli history, and to the constant combination of sorrow and pain on one hand, and building and renewal on other.